In the ancient Valley of Elah, the air hangs thick with dust and dread. Picture this. On one hill, the Philistine army stands proud, their armor glinting like 1,000 sharp teeth under the hot sun. Their camp is a fortress of strength and order. On the opposite hill, a stark contrast. The tents of the Israelites are frayed, their spirits even more so. This isn't just a standoff. It's a battle of wills, and one side is clearly losing. A slow, heavy drumbeat echoes through the valley, like a giant, menacing heartbeat. Boom, boom, boom. It's a sound that crawls under your skin. We zoom in on the Israelite soldiers. They aren't the brave warriors you'd imagine. They're men, terrified, hiding behind rocks, their knuckles white as they grip their swords and spears. Their whispers are a frantic rustle of fear spreading through the ranks like wildfire. They're not just facing an army, they're facing a nightmare. Inside the royal tent, even the leader of Israel is cracking under the pressure. King Saul, a man chosen for his height and strength, now seems small. He paces relentlessly, a caged lion, his brow slick with sweat. His royal robes can't hide the tremor in his hands. The weight of his entire nation rests on his shoulders, and it is crushing him. Suddenly, a panicked whisper cuts through the tension from just outside the tent flap. He's coming. He's coming again. Every head snaps towards the valley floor. A shadow, vast and unnatural, begins to stretch across the ground. It creeps forward, a tide of darkness swallowing the light, engulfing the front lines of the Israelite camp. The soldiers freeze, their breath caught in their throats. And then he emerges from the Philistine ranks. Goliath. The stories, the whispers, they did not do him justice. He isn't just a man, he's a mountain of muscle and bronze. Standing over 9 feet tall, his armor is made of overlapping scales, each one polished to a blinding sheen. It's like staring at a walking dragon. His helmet covers a face set in a permanent sneer of arrogance. In his hand, he carries a spear so massive, its shaft is compared to a weaver's beam, a tool as thick as a man's arm. Its iron point alone weighs more than most men's swords. He takes a few thunderous steps forward, the very ground seeming to shake. He plants his feet firmly in the center of the valley, a titan claiming his domain. He scans the opposite hill, his gaze sweeping over the cowering soldiers. It's a look of pure contempt, of a predator sizing up its prey. The drum beat stops. An even more terrifying silence falls over the valley, broken only by the wind. Every eye is on this one man, this giant who has held 2 armies captive with fear alone. For 40 days he has done this, and for 40 days, no one has dared to answer. The challenge is unspoken, but clear in his posture, in his presence. Who among you will face me? The question hangs in the air, a death sentence waiting for a name. And in the camp of Israel, there is only silence and a chilling realization that their courage has abandoned them. Their faith is faltering, and their hope is a tiny flicker against the giant shadow that has fallen over their land. The Valley of Fear has earned its name. The 2 armies faced each other across the valley, a sea of bronze and iron glinting under the morning sun. The air was thick with tension, a heavy silence broken only by the nervous shuffling of feet and the clatter of weapons. The Israelites, servants of King Saul, stood on one side, their ranks a mixture of seasoned warriors and young, untried men. On the other side stood the Philistines, confident and imposing. But it wasn't the size of their army that sent a chill down the spines of the Israelites. It was one man. From the Philistine lines, a figure emerged, so colossal he seemed to block out the sun. This was Goliath of Gath. He was a giant, not just in stature, but in reputation. His armor was a fortress of bronze, so heavy that a normal man couldn't even lift it. His helmet gleamed, and the spear he carried was like a weaver's beam, its iron point promising a swift and brutal end. He strode into the valley's center, each step shaking the ground, his shadow stretching long and menacing across the no-man's land between the two armies. The Israelites watched, their courage draining away with every step the giant took. This wasn't just a soldier. This was a monster, a walking nightmare of muscle and metal. He stopped, planting his massive spear into the earth. The sound echoed like a death knell. He surveyed the Israelite army with utter contempt, a sneer twisting his lips. He was the champion of the Philistines, their ultimate weapon, and he knew the fear he inspired. The silence was absolute now. Every eye was on him. The wind whispered through the valley, carrying with it a sense of impending doom. He let the moment stretch, savoring the terror he was creating. He breathed in deeply, his chest expanding against the polished bronze of his armor, and then he opened his mouth to speak. His voice was not a man's voice. It was a roar, a thunderclap that rolled across the valley and crashed against the hillsides, echoing back in a deafening wave. "Why have you come out and lined up for battle?" He boomed, his words dripping with scorn. He pointed a massive, gaunted finger at himself. "Am I not a Philistine?" Then he swept his hand across the ranks of Saul's army. "And are you not the servants of Saul, your king?" He laughed, a short, sharp bark of derision. "Stop hiding behind your numbers like cowards. This isn't a battle for armies. This is a battle for champions." He raised his sword, a terrifying piece of sharpened steel that caught the sunlight and blazed with a deadly light. The front line of the Israelite army flinched as one, instinctively stepping back from the sheer menace of the man and his weapon. "Choose a man," Goliath bellowed, his voice vibrating with power. "Just one. Find the best warrior you have and have him come down to me. Let him face me, man to man." The challenge hung in the air, a direct insult to the honor of Israel and their God. It was a dare, a taunt, and a death sentence all in one. He laid out the terms, his voice mocking and cruel. "If he is able to fight me and kill me," he declared, "then we, the Philistines, will become your subjects. We will serve you." He paused, letting the impossible offer sink in. The idea of this titan falling, of the mighty Philistines becoming slaves, was so unbelievable it felt like a fantasy. Then came the other side of the ultimatum, the part that felt all too real. "But," he roared, his voice dropping to a menacing growl, "if I overcome him and kill him, then you will become our subjects and serve us." The threat was clear: submit to slavery or send a man to his certain death. Goliath threw his head back and laughed. It wasn't a sound of joy. It was a deep, terrifying, guttural roar of pure dominance and contempt. The sound seemed to freeze the blood in the veins of every Israelite soldier. It echoed off the canyon walls, amplifying the terror, making it seem as if the very mountains were laughing at their fear. On the hillside, no one moved, no one spoke, no one even seemed to breathe. The army of Israel, the chosen people, stood paralyzed by the sight and sound of this one man. Their swords felt like toys, their shields like paper. Their training, their courage, their faith all evaporated in the face of this living mountain of hate. This scene repeated itself, becoming a torturous ritual. For 40 days, this monstrous champion of the Philistines took his stand. Every morning as the sun rose, he would stride into the valley and issue his blasphemous challenge. His voice would boom, his laughter would mock, and his presence would cast a shadow of fear over the camp of Israel. And every evening, as the sun began to set, he would do it all again, reminding them of their cowardice and his power. And for 40 long days, the army of the living God, the soldiers who were meant to be a light to the nations, did nothing. They trembled, they hid, and they prayed for a Savior who seemed unwilling to answer. The valley, once a simple battlefield, had become a valley of fear, a stage for one man's terrifying pride and an entire nation's shame. The question hung in the air, unanswered day after day. Was there anyone, anyone at all who would dare to face the giant? Have you ever wondered what makes a true hero? Is it brute strength, a crown, or a mighty army? Today, let's journey back in time to the quiet, rolling hills of Bethlehem to discover a different kind of strength, a strength forged in solitude and faith. Imagine this. The sun warms your face, a gentle breeze rustles through the lush green grass, and the only sounds are the soft bleating of sheep and the sweet, calming melody of a wooden harp. This is the world of a young shepherd boy named David. He's maybe 16, with a healthy, sun-kissed glow. He sits on a smooth, weathered rock, his fingers gracefully plucking the strings of his harp. He's not just playing a tune. He's singing a song from the depths of his soul, a song of trust and peace. "The Lord is my shepherd," he hums. "I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures." His voice is as gentle as the scenery around him, a portrait of perfect tranquility. But peace in the wilderness is a fragile thing. Suddenly, the harmony is shattered by a panicked bleat. A sheep, wide-eyed with terror, cries out. David's music stops. His head snaps up. His eyes, just a moment ago soft and dreamy, now turn sharp and focused. Across the field, a shadow moves with predatory grace. A wolf, low to the ground, is creeping towards the flock, its fangs bared. Now, what would most people do? Panic? Shout? Run for help? Not David. There's no fear on his face, only a calm, steely resolve. His movements are fluid and practiced. He doesn't even flinch. He simply reaches into the small leather pouch at his side, his fingers closing around a smooth, heavy stone. It's a motion he's repeated thousands of times. He places the stone into the pocket of his sling, a simple strap of leather that is an extension of his own arm. He rises to his feet in one smooth motion. The world seems to slow down. The birds stop chirping. The wind holds its breath. David begins to spin the sling, slowly at first, then faster and faster. A whirlwind of leather and intent. The air whistles as the sling cuts through it, building momentum, building power. It's a dance of precision and control, a testament to countless hours of practice under the lonely sky. He is not just a boy with a harp anymore. He is a guardian, a protector. Then, with a final powerful whip of his arm, he releases one end of the sling. There's a sharp whoosh as the stone is launched. A blur rocketing through the air with incredible speed and accuracy. It doesn't hit the wolf. That was never the plan. Instead, it cracks against the ground just inches in front of the predator's nose. The impact sends dirt and pebbles flying. The wolf, shocked and startled, lets out a yelp of surprise and fear. It tucks its tail between its legs and scrambles away, disappearing back into the wilderness from which it came. The threat is gone. The tension breaks. The sheep settle down, their nervous bleating fading back into contented munching. David watches the wolf retreat, a small, confident smile playing on his lips. He walks over to the sheep that first sounded the alarm and gently pats its head, his touch reassuring and kind. "Not today," he says quietly, his voice a low, firm promise. "Not on my watch." What we've just witnessed isn't a story about violence, but about protection. It's about skill, courage, and responsibility. David didn't need a sword or a spear. He used what he had: a simple sling, a stone from the earth, and an unwavering heart. His strength wasn't in aggression, but in his deep-seated duty to care for the flock entrusted to him. He faced a deadly threat not with rage, but with calm precision. This moment, here in the quiet hills, reveals the true character of the boy who would one day become a king. It shows us that true heroism isn't always found on the grand battlefield. Sometimes it's found in the quiet, faithful execution of our daily duties. It's the courage to stand up and protect the vulnerable, using the skills we've honed in obscurity. David's time as a shepherd was his training ground. Every stone he threw, every predator he faced, was shaping him, preparing him for the much larger giants he would face in the future. This story challenges us to look at our own lives. What are our flocks? Who or what has been entrusted to our care? It could be our family, our work, our community, or even our own dreams and values. And what are the wolves that threaten them? They might not be literal predators, but challenges, fears, or negative influences. Like David, we are all called to be guardians. We are called to be vigilant, to be prepared, and to act with courage and precision when the time comes. The strength David displayed came from a place of deep faith. His song, "The Lord is my shepherd," wasn't just a pretty melody. It was his core belief. He believed he was watched over by a greater shepherd, and this gave him the courage to be a shepherd himself. He wasn't alone in those hills. His faith was his unseen partner, his source of unshakable confidence. So the next time you feel small or insignificant, remember the shepherd boy David. Remember that the skills you are building today, the responsibilities you are faithfully handling, are preparing you for something greater. Your character is being forged in the quiet moments, in the "not on my watch" declarations you make over the things you care about. True strength is a combination of skill, courage, and faith. It's about protecting what matters most, not with a roar, but with a quiet, unwavering resolve. Thank you for joining me on this journey back in time. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of history's most inspiring figures. What lessons do you take from David's example? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Until next time, stay courageous. Hey everyone, and welcome back to our series where we read diving deep into one of the most epic stories ever told. Today, we're at a pivotal moment, a scene I call the errand. It might seem like a simple task, but this one little chore is about to set in motion a chain of events that will change history forever. So let's set the scene. It's a bright, clear morning. We're outside the home of a man named Jesse, a farmer. His face weathered by the sun and years of hard work. The air is probably filled with the smell of baked bread and maybe the faint bleating of sheep in the distance. Jesse is packing supplies, heavy sacks of grain, and freshly baked loaves of bread. You can just imagine the warmth coming off them. He calls out for his youngest son, a name that will soon echo through the ages: David. David, at this point, isn't a king or a famous warrior. He's a shepherd. His world is the fields, the flock, the sky, and his music. He's young, full of life, and probably a bit restless, like many teenagers are. Jesse's voice cuts through the morning air. "David." He tells him to leave the sheep with a hired keeper. This is unusual. David's primary responsibility is the flock, protecting them from predators, leading them to good pasture. That's his job. So, for his father to tell him to just leave them immediately signals that this is important. Jesse points to the provisions he's packed. He tells David he needs him to run an errand to the camp at the Valley of Elah. The Valley of Elah. Just hearing the name would have sent a chill down anyone's spine at that time. It wasn't just some valley. It was a war zone. This is where the Israelite army is facing off against their dreaded enemies, the Philistines. It's a tense, volatile standoff. David, hearing this, immediately understands the gravity. To the war, father? You can almost hear the mix of surprise and maybe a little bit of awe in his voice. He knows his 3 older brothers are there, soldiers in King Saul's army. But the battlefield is a world away from his peaceful life with the sheep. It's a place of men, of danger, of clashing steel and shouting armies. Jesse confirms it. He lays out the task, and it's very specific. Take this roasted grain and these 10 loaves of bread to your brothers. This isn't just a casual delivery. Think about it. Roasted grain is lightweight, nutritious, and easy to carry perfect battlefield rations. And the 10 loaves of bread? That's a significant amount. It's a taste of home, a physical connection to their family, a reminder of what they are fighting for. It's sustenance not just for the body, but for the soul. In a place filled with fear and uncertainty, a loaf of bread from your father's house is a powerful symbol of love and support. But the errand doesn't stop there. Jesse adds another layer to it. He hands David 10 cheeses. And take these 10 cheeses to their commander. Now this is interesting. This isn't for his brothers. This is for their superior officer. Why? Well, this is a smart move by a wise father. It's a gesture of respect, an offering to ensure the commander looks favorably upon his sons. In ancient cultures, and even today, a gift like this can build goodwill. It says, "We honor you, we support you, and please look after our boys." Jesse isn't just feeding his sons. He's playing a bit of family politics, trying to secure their well-being from afar. He's a father, through and through, doing everything in his power to protect his children, even when they're miles away on a battlefield. Then Jesse gets to the heart of his request, the real reason he's sending his youngest, and some might say, most reliable son. See how your brothers are doing and bring back news. This line is so full of parental anxiety. Communication back then wasn't like it is today. There were no text messages, no quick phone calls. News traveled slowly, often unreliably, by word of mouth. For weeks, maybe months, Jesse has been living with a knot in his stomach, wondering if his sons are safe, if they're healthy, if they're even alive. He needs first-hand information. He trusts David not just to deliver the food, but to be his eyes and ears. He wants a real report, an honest assessment of the situation. Bring back news, he says. The Hebrew word used here can also mean a token or a pledge, something to prove they are well. It's a desperate plea from the father's heart for peace of mind. Now, let's look at David's reaction. Does he complain? Does he grumble about the long journey or the danger? Absolutely not. The text says his eyes light up. He's excited. This is the key to understanding David's character. He's not just an obedient son doing a chore. He's an adventurous young man who sees this as the opportunity of a lifetime. For him, this isn't just about delivering bread and cheese. It's a chance to see the world beyond his pasture. It's a chance to see the great Israelite army, the heroes of his nation, assembled in all their glory. It's a chance to see the battle lines he's only heard about in stories. There's a fire in David, a curiosity and a bravery that has been cultivated in the solitude of the wilderness, fighting off lions and bears to protect his sheep. He's not afraid of a challenge. He leans into it. His response is immediate and enthusiastic. I will go right now. No hesitation, no delay. He's ready. This errand, this simple delivery, is his call to adventure. He has no idea that he's not just going to see the battle lines. He has no idea that he is about to step onto the stage of history and face a giant. He just thinks he's running an errand for his dad. And that's where the beauty of this scene lies. It's so relatable, so human. It starts with a father's love and worry, and a son's youthful eagerness. It's a domestic moment that serves as the launching pad for an epic confrontation. Providence is at work in the mundane. A delivery of groceries is about to become a date with destiny. David is stepping out of the sheep fields and walking toward the Valley of Elah, where his life and the fate of his entire nation will be changed forever. What an incredible setup. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. If you did, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next part of the story where things really start to heat up. See you in the next video. Welcome back to our series, where we're diving deep into one of the most iconic stories ever told. Last time, we left a young shepherd boy named David on a mission from his father, carrying food for his brothers on the front lines of a war. Now, let's join him as he arrives at the battlefield. David reaches the Israelite camp, just as the army is mustering for battle. The air is thick with tension and the sounds of war. All around him, soldiers are shouting the war cry, "For Israel." Their voices echo across the valley, a powerful, unified roar. But then, an unsettling quiet falls over the ranks. The shouting stops. The advance halts. The army stands frozen, a line of men ready for a fight that never seems to begin. It's a strange and confusing sight. An army poised for battle, yet paralyzed by something unseen. David, still carrying his provisions, weaves his way through the throngs of soldiers. He's looking for his brothers, trying to make sense of the chaos and the sudden, heavy silence. He scans the faces in the crowd, a sea of hardened warriors, until he spots a familiar figure. It's his oldest brother, Eliab. Tall, handsome, and looking every bit the soldier you'd want on your side. Eliab stands with his unit, his expression a mixture of duty and dread. David rushes over, relieved to have found him. "Eliab," he calls out, "I brought food from Father." He holds up the bundles of bread and cheese, a simple offering from home amidst the grim reality of war. But before Eliab can even manage a reply, a tremor runs through the ground. It starts as a low rumble, growing stronger with each passing second. Boom, boom. The earth itself seems to quake with heavy, rhythmic footsteps. Every soldier's head snaps toward the valley below. Out from the morning mist, a figure of immense size emerges. It's Goliath, the Philistine champion. He's a walking mountain of muscle and bronze armor, his spear looking more like a weaver's beam. He takes his position between the two armies, a single man holding thousands hostage with his presence alone. Goliath's voice, a thunderous roar amplified by the valley's acoustics, crashes over the Israelite camp. "Where is your champion?" he bellows, his words dripping with contempt. "I have been waiting for days. Are you all cowards? Do you hide behind your king and your God? I defy the ranks of Israel this day. Send me a man so that we may fight." His challenge hangs in the air, a thick, suffocating cloud of mockery and intimidation. This isn't just a call to battle. It's a direct insult to their army, their king, and their entire nation. The effect on the Israelite soldiers is immediate and devastating. The courage they had just moments ago evaporates like mist in the sun. Men who were shouting war cries now stand pale and trembling. A wave of fear ripples through the ranks, and they begin to back away, shuffling their feet, avoiding eye contact with the giant in the valley. The line of battle, once so proud and straight, begins to crumble. It's a collective, unspoken retreat. The mighty army of Israel is terrified. Amidst the growing panic, David overhears two soldiers talking near him. Their hushed, frantic whispers cut through the silence. "Did you hear the giant?" One of them says, his voice shaking. "The king has promised great wealth to the man who kills him, and he'll get to marry the king's daughter. The reward is astronomical, a life-changing prize. It's the kind of offer that should inspire heroes and create legends." But the other soldier just scoffs, his face a mask of pure terror. "Wealth? Who cares about wealth?" he retorts, gesturing wildly toward the valley. "Look at the size of him. We are dead men. Sending one of us down, there is a death sentence." This exchange highlights the depth of their fear. The king's incredible offer riches, royalty, and renown means nothing in the face of such an overwhelming threat. For these soldiers, survival is the only prize worth considering, and right now, it seems impossible. They see Goliath not as an opportunity for glory, but as an instrument of certain death. Their morale is completely shattered. They have already lost the battle in their minds, convinced that no man among them stands a chance against the Philistine giant. David listens to all of this, and a strange look crosses his face. He looks at the terrified soldiers, cowering and whispering. He looks at his own brother, Eliab, standing silent and grim. Then his eyes drift down to the valley, settling on the colossal figure of Goliath, who is still shouting his defiant taunts. But as David stares at the giant, he doesn't feel what everyone else feels. There's no fear in his eyes. He isn't intimidated by the giant's size or his ferocious threats. Instead, a different emotion begins to rise within him. It's not fear. It's a deep, burning sense of indignation. He is offended. Why is he offended? Because this one man is holding the entire army of the living God hostage. This giant isn't just mocking soldiers. He's defying the armies of Israel, and by extension, their God. To David, this is not just a military problem. It's a spiritual one. He sees a blasphemous challenger, not an unbeatable warrior. While everyone else is focused on the size of the man, David is focused on the size of the insult. This fundamental difference in perspective sets him apart from every other person on that battlefield. He doesn't see a reason to be afraid. He sees a wrong that must be righted. A fire has been lit in the young shepherd's heart, and the story is about to take a turn that no one could have predicted. And that's where we'll leave it for today. A moment of crisis has revealed a surprising hero in the making. What do you think David will do next? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this part of the story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. See you then. The battlefield was a sea of silence, frozen by fear. But then a young voice, clear and sharp, cut through the tension. It was David. He looked out at the giant Goliath and wasn't afraid. He asked the soldiers around him, "What reward will the man get who defeats this Philistine? Who does he think he is anyway, to stand there and mock the armies of the living God?" His words, full of a strange fire, reached his oldest brother, Eliab. Eliab was a seasoned soldier, but even he was terrified of Goliath. Hearing his little brother speak so boldly felt like a personal insult, a spotlight on his own fear. He stormed over, grabbing David's shoulder and spinning him around. His face was a mask of fury. "What are you even doing here?" he spat. "Who did you dump those few sheep on to come down here and play soldier? I know you, David. I know your pride and the wickedness in your heart. You didn't come to help. You just came to watch the fight, to see some bloodshed." David pulled away, hurt and confused. What did I do now? Was it so wrong to just ask a question? Can't I even speak? He didn't wait for an answer. He turned his back on his fuming brother and walked over to another group of soldiers, his resolve unbroken. He raised his voice, even louder this time, so more could hear. "I'm asking again, who is this man that he dares to defy God himself?" This time, his words caught the ear of a royal guard. The guard was about to tell him to be quiet, to not provoke the giant. But then he stopped. He looked at David, really looked at him. There was no fear in the boy's eyes, only a righteous indignation. "Wait a minute," the guard said, his voice low with surprise. "You talk as if you're not afraid of him." David just shook his head. "Afraid? Of a man who insults my God? Never." The guard's eyes widened. He had never seen such courage, especially not in someone so young. This was something King Saul needed to see, to hear for himself. "Come with me," the guard said, a new urgency in his voice. "The king needs to hear this." He took David by the arm and started leading him through the camp towards the king's royal tent. As they walked, David glanced back one last time at the hulking figure of Goliath on the horizon. He tightened his grip on his simple shepherd's staff. It was all he had, but somehow, in his hands, it felt like enough. You see, where the soldiers of Israel saw an unbeatable giant, and where King Saul saw a terrifying monster that threatened his entire kingdom, the young shepherd boy from Bethlehem saw something else entirely. He just saw a target